we're going to do some converse of the Pythagorean theorem. This is when we're given three side lengths and we're asked to determine whether or not they are actually forming a right triangle or not. This looks like it could be a right triangle if I turn it that way, but I'm not 100% sure because I don't have the right angle symbol. So in order for me to find out if it truly is a right angle, I do need to use the Pythagorean to figure that out. So I'm going to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we're going to locate what numbers we think should be forming this triangle. So our two smallest sides, the 8 and the 15, are going to be my a squared and my b squared. A is the smallest side, so that would be the 8. So we're going to square 8. We're going to add our second smallest side, which is 15. That's our b. And then our c squared is always our longest side squared, which in this case is 17. So we're going to go ahead and figure out what that is. So 8 times 8 is 64. 15 times 15 is 225. And then 17 times 17 is 289. So is this a right triangle? If I add these things together right here, we do end up getting 289, which does equal 289. So we are 100% sure now, using the Pythagorean theorem, that this is a right triangle, and it does work. So this is how you would figure out if it is a right triangle or not, using just the side lengths given to you and not knowing for sure that it is a right triangle or not. Now this bottom question that I have here is Tom's trying to figure out if he does have a right triangle using the wire pieces that he has, which are 4 inches, 7 inches, and 9 inches. So he's trying to figure out if it's going to cause us to have a right triangle or not. So what we do with this is, even if these are given to us, we want to make sure that they are in least to greatest order, which they are in this case. So our smallest side is the A side, our next longest side is B, and our longest side is C. So if we plug these into the Pythagorean theorem to see if they work, then we're going to be able to know whether this is a right triangle or not. So we're going to do 4 squared, that's our a squared, plus our b squared, which in this case is 7, so 7 squared. We're going to check out that c squared, 9 squared. It's the longest side. So now when I square these numbers, I'm going to end up with 16, 4 times 4, 49, which is 7 times 7, and then our 9 squared, which is 81. Now I'm just going to add my two numbers together. When I add those two together, I end up with 65. So I look at it and I say, is 65 equal to 81? The answer is no, it is not. So therefore, this is not a right triangle. And that's how you do the converse of the Pythagorean theorem. If you want more questions like this, find them on my YouTube, my Instagram, and my TikTok at YouWantAlgebra. They can be all located under the Pythagorean theorem section.